Hi, welcome back. Peter here, PMC Knives and Tools. I've been testing this recently for about a week now. It is an unbranded, unnamed Chinese multi-tool that I bought from popular Far Eastern retailer AliExpress for the princely sum of £14. Now, it came with a nylon pocket slip, belt sheath, which is fine, and fits it quite tightly. I actually put my Leatherman wingman in it because it's a bit of fit for that, and it comes pre-built with a pocket clip anyway, a deep carry pocket clip there. There is no information on the box whatsoever other than Guangdong as the location of manufacture. There's no branding or stamping anywhere on it. There's no tool markings to identify the steel or anything like that. So unbranded, unnamed. The listing had no name of a brand or anything like that either on AliExpress. So all we know about it is that it exists and what's on it. So what is the tool layout? Okay, first of all, the standard multi-tool blade, quite a thick blade stock, about 3mm, with a sharp 90-degree spine, so it will throw sparks from a ferro rod, and I have tested that at home into the bin, and it worked perfectly. Nice 20-inch blade, about 3 inches long, without the semi-serrations that are quite common on multi-tools, which I'm not a great lover of anyway. I prefer a plain edge blade, so this is great for me. Liner lock, your standard kind of Leatherman wave style. What else do we have on the outside? Scissors. Now, a bit like the Leatherman wingman, you have to open them out and then back in again to get them to the lock to kick in. And they are spring loaded with a built-in spring steel there. Now the scissors are absolutely excellent. The spring on them is nice and strong. The blades on them are very, very sharp, and they have these rounded points so that you don't accidentally pierce whatever you're cutting. So I used these yesterday to wrap a birthday present just to prove that I could, and they are fantastic. They cut excellently. Really impressed with those. Also on the outside, on the opposite side, we have this little strange gadget here. So this is a spanner, basically, of 4 spanners, a 10mm, a 14mm, an 8mm and a 7mm, which are built onto the side of the tool, and they sort of cover the bottom of the file and the bottom of the saw. So you have to open this tool and fold it out of the way to properly access the saw and the file. So the saw, similar to the saw that you would get on a Victorinox Swiss Army knife type thing. Cuts fine. It's not particularly long and it's not flared, so it might bind up if you try and do something a bit bigger, but it's going to be fine for all those little around the garden tasks, taking the little branches off trees and things like that. Something as thick as that's probably perfect. And it works fine. It does the job. It's nothing fancy, but it's ideal for what it is. And it's better than a lot of the saws that you get on kind of cheap Chinese multi-tools. They can often be quite poor. So this one's actually pretty decent. So no complaints there. And again, just a simple lock. And the file, so the file is a single-sided crosshatch, which is fine. It's not super aggressive, but it's okay, it works. I used it the other day. Slotted screwdriver end, as always, on these things, which works really well as a pry, and does work as a screwdriver too. I did test it out, although I'm not, a fan of slotted screwdrivers, I've mentioned many times before. But it does do its job, it has a place, but it works really well as a pry. On the back is the absolutely hopeless rule, so 2-inch imperial and 4cm metric. Why you would ever need that, I don't know. Why do they insist, multi-tool companies, on putting tiny little rulers on the backs of files, or I don't know, pointless. You're never going to use it. You're never going to want to measure something that's 2 inches long. You can tell it's 2 inches long just by looking at it. I haven't tested out this little spanner yet, but I do like the fact that you can use it in 2 positions, so you can get it angled or straight on. And those are fairly common nut sizes, so I dare say it would work. It doesn't feel like it's super duper strong metal, but it'll, if you wanted to use it to hold the nut at one side while you turn it with pliers from the other, that would work too. So let's open the tool. A standard combination plier, so kind of almost needle tip down to a combination plier with interchangeable wire cutters here, which seems to be the norm now on multi-tools. Where you will get replacement bits from them if and or when they break, I don't know. Maybe AliExpress, maybe they're compatible with more common brands like Leatherman, I don't know, it wasn't listed, no information given. So I guess you just use them until they break and then hope for the best, not sure. Spring loaded, work well, the knurls on them are quite well pronounced, which I like. They meet up perfectly, there's no gap, no wobble, no misalignment, and they've got quite a nice shaping, styling definition there as well. And all has, you can see that it's all been lubricated from the factory too, so it came in pretty good condition. And the fit and finish and build quality seems excellent, and the whole thing has a smooth, rounded, satinised finish, which makes for a comfortable experience. You do have tools inside the handles as well, as is always the case with these things, so let's have a look at those. Just a little bit of stuff because it's new. Let's see if we can use it. Another knife to try out the tools in this now. There we go. So these all lock, similar to how Leatherman Wave tools work, except it's a little plastic locking knob here. Right, let's go through them in order. So, can opener, which is also a slotted screwdriver, which, as you know, works on little Phillips heads as well. Works okay. It's not the most sharpened, not the most aggressive. It makes it a little bit of a chore to open cans, but it does do it. So, in a pinch. Not as good as the Victorinox ones, but you know, it does fine. Cap lifter, which is also a slotted screwdriver / pry tool, works fine. Opens a beer bottle absolutely fine, no complaints. Rope cutter, string cutter, seatbelt cutter, I don't know, rubbish. Why do these things exist? Why do tool companies keep putting these on tools? Nobody uses them, they're crap. You've got, you have to open the whole tool to get to it when you've got scissors and a knife accessible one-handed on the outside. So, I don't know, pointless, just takes up space. Get rid of that and put something useful in. Right, on the other side, we have a Phillips driver, and again, all locking. The Phillips driver, it does work, the metal on it's not the hardest. I did find a little bit of chewing when I was using it yesterday. And it's not the largest size either, it's not like Phillips 2, it's more like a Phillips 1 size, or sort of in between the two. But it works, and it locks, and it's okay. And then beside that, we have an awl, which I don't use a great deal on any of my tools, very, very seldom. It's sort of a little bit of an outdated tool. It's not sharpened on two edges like the Victorinox ones, so it's not sharpened here. That's slightly angled but not sharpened, and it is sharpened to a piercing point here. So sharpened on one edge only, and has a sewing needle. If you want to do a lot of leather work, I never have. But yeah, it exists. I mean, if you want to do what I do and make your belt sizes change, it'll do that. Now, to unlock them, you have these little black plastic tabs. Now, I'd rather these were metal, because I think metal would be more durable. But they work exactly the same as a Leatherman Waves back spring tools work. But on this side, because of this funny little spanner thing, you have to move this out of the way to comfortably unlock them. So that's just another step in the process, but it's no big deal. So, not a huge review, not a very long one, but this Unbranded and fairly cheap folding plier pocket multi-tool, 4 inches high, about 1.5 inches wide, 2/3 of an inch thick, from AliExpress. Pretty impressed with it so far. I've used it a fair bit. I've had to strop it once. I didn't strop it, I used a kitchen butcher steel honing rod. That came to life really well. And then I just give it a quick rub on my denims, just to take any burr off, which is something I quite often do. So I'll use a butcher steel and then a very quick, very light strop on my denims. And now it's slicing paper like a laser. So excellent. And that was after I had used the factory edge quite extensively for a lot of recycling and things as well. So good scissors, good knife, good saw, decent file, good pliers, good price. So I'll leave a link in the description. I'm not getting paid for any referrals or anything. I'll leave a link in the description just so that you can see what it is, because there is no name and there's no manufacturer's information given and no brand. So there we go. Decent enough. And if you're looking for something on a budget, you could do a lot worse. Have a great day.